Good evening. Before the 91st Amendment Act, there was no limitation with respect to number of ministers in the Council of Ministers, both at the central level and also at the state level. That was the reason before this 91st Amendment, the Prime Minister at the central level or the Chief Ministers at the state level, they used to induct more number of people into the cabinet. And that cabinet was called Jumbo Jet Cabinet, meaning whoever expresses dissatisfaction against the chief minister, in order to satisfy that person, the chief minister used to induct the person into the cabinet, and the prime minister at the central level, he used to induct the person into the cabinet. So there was a discussion for a long period of time that you need to put a restriction onto the number of members in the council of ministers, meaning so total number of ministers should not exceed a particular limit. And there was a discussion, and accordingly 91st constitution amendment act was passed. And according to that one, at the central level, the total number of council of ministers, the total number in the council of ministers including the prime minister, should not be more than 15% of the total strength of Lok Sabha. I repeat, the total strength of ministers or members in the council of ministers, including the prime minister, should not be more than 15% of the total strength of the lower house, that is nothing but the Lok Sabha. So if you look at the Lok Sabha, the strength is 545, and out of that 545, number of members in the council should not be more than 15%. Right now you can calculate. In the similar manner, even at the state level also, number of ministers should not be more than 15% of the total strength of the lower house of the state legislature. Right. So whenever I say lower house, this is the state legislative assembly. So right, meaning is simple. In almost all the states, you got single house, that is assembly. But when it comes to some states, like seven states in India, it is called a bicameral state legislature, where you got both houses. Meaning, apart from state legislative assembly, you can also see state legislative council. So, in any state where state legislative council is existing, that house is called upper house of the state legislature. Of course, in India right now, out of 29 states, only in 7 states you got the legislative council. Hence, keep the legislative council aside. So, but when it comes to number of members in the council of ministers at the state level, total number should not be more than 15% of the total strength of the assembly. So whatever may be the strength of assembly, right? You may be living in Punjab, you may be living in Arunachal Pradesh, you may be living in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, or Orissa, any state. So you look at the number of MLAs that is present in the legislative assembly, and from that number, because the number will vary from state to state, because the number depends on the strength of the assembly, depends on the the population of the state. That's the reason why you go to and the number, and if you go to Goa, right, or you go to Sikkim, the number of MLAs is very low because the population is very low. Right, so it will vary from state to state. But whatever the case it is, the total strength should not be more than 15% of the total strength of the legislative assembly. Right, but why we are discussing this now? And since Constitution 91st Amendment Act came into effect from 1st January 2004 at the central level and also at the state level, so this is the practice. It's a constitutional practice that is being implemented. But what happens if you don't induct the ministers? If the chief minister of a state is really capable, can he run the entire show on his own by appointing one or two, three, four other ministers? Can it be done? This is the discussion now that is happening in the state of Telangana, where the Chief Minister, Mr. K. Chandrasekhar Rao, who was the Chief Minister of Telangana since its formation in the year 2014, he is a Chief Minister and he went for advanced polls. And again, his party got the majority, and this person became the Chief Minister of Telangana once again. And he is sworn in as a Chief Minister of Telangana on December 13, 2018. Right, second time he is sworn in as a Chief Minister on December 13th, 2018. And if you look at it today, so we are on February 18th, 2019. So meaning it's more than 2 months that there is only a Chief Minister for Telangana, and there is one more minister who was inducted as the Home Minister. And these two people are in the till today. But the constitution is mandating that the total strength should not exceed 15%. And if you look at the total strength of Telangana State Assembly, total strength is 120, including a nominated member. And if you calculate 15% from this, 18. So 18 members can be inducted as the ministers. But the same constitution, same amendment, the same article 164 is also mentioning that maximum strength should not be more than 15%, but at the same time, it should be minimum 12 members. So, meaning for the state of Telangana, because it is there in the news, let me tell you, minimum number of ministers must be 12 and maximum should be 18. 18, I am coming to a conclusion based on the not more than 15% of the total strength of the assembly. And the 12, the number 12 figure is mandatory be less than 12 and it should not be more than 18 for the state of Telangana. But for the last 2 months, Mr. Chief Minister is running only with the two members. And since Mr. K. Chandrasekhar Rao is a very powerful person with respect to TRS party and completely dominating the show, so there was no voice within the political party to raise an issue why you are not appointing the ministers. Right? Of course, if you look at the opposition parties, there is no political party which is considered to be significantly an opposition party. Of course, there is a party, a Congress party is there. So it is raising the voice why the ministers are not being inducted, but Chief Minister of Telangana did not bother about this. Since he is a very powerful person now, so the mandate that is given by the people, and he did not bother about appointing the ministers. But tomorrow, that is February 19th, 2019, he decided to induct some more members as the ministers. Why we are discussing now is that last week some people have approached Telangana High Court and filed a petition, and they made it very clear that the chief minister is violating the principle of constitution, where there is a necessity of certain number of ministers, but the chief minister is not bothered about this. And the Honorable High Court of Telangana posted this case for hearing tomorrow. That is on February 19th. But before the case comes for hearing, the arrangements are being made, and now 9 more ministers are going to be inducted tomorrow. So this is the information that is given by media. It is not said by the chief minister. What is there in the mind of the chief minister knows only to the chief minister, and that is the reason why already two ministers are there. One is the chief minister, other one is the home minister. Apart from that, if 9 more members are also appointed, 9 plus 2, it is going to become 11, but the minimum requirement is 12 members. So based on that one, there may be some argument tomorrow in the High Court, and High Court may send a notice to the government asking for the explanation. Right? But chief minister, since these are the politics, he might have got his own, these methods of calculations. Since Lok Sabha elections are ahead, and you need to accommodate the people who are coming from some other political parties. So various, calculations are there in the mind of the chief minister. But the point is that in any state, once the people have given the mandate, it is the responsibility of the political party that gets a majority to form the government with the required strength. So you need to appoint the ministers to various departments so that the problems that are there for the people with respect to such departments will be resolved by the concerned ministers. Right? On the other side, some people will argue that if people like Mr. K. Chandrasekhar Rao or the chief ministers has the capability of handling more than one department. So this is what is happening for the last 2 days, 2 months. For the last 2 months, it's the same thing is happening, and some people are questioning. You show me what are the problems that you are facing. Do you have any problem with the irrigation? Do you have any problem with the drinking water? Do you have any problem with the continuous supply of the electricity? So do you have any problem with is releasing the pensions to the poor people? So do you have any problem with respect to any other work that is being done by the government? Like this, the arguments are there, but the point here is that whether you are going by the constitution or not, chief minister may be so powerful, he has the capability and capacity to handle various departments and many departments at a time, and you can manage it very effectively. But what the constitution says must be respected by the political party that is there in the power. And we are not sure how many ministers are going to be inducted tomorrow, but existing strength is two, and nine more members are going to be inducted. It's a general, this news that we got from the media. So 9 plus 2 is going to become 11 still, right, one short of the this constitutional mandate. And definitely high court may question. So during the time, the advocate general of Telangana state will be giving answer to the high court and saying that the required number will be fulfilled within a very short period of time. So this may be the plan. And of course, the chief minister, if you look at him, he goes by so many customs and his own beliefs, and looking at the right number to suit his this philosophy of the so-called numerology, and he will take various things into consideration. But whatever it is, the people of any state, including Telangana, expect a better ruling from the government. Fine. And that is the reason why I have discussed this particular article with you now, and I'll just try to show you the article. Kindly have a look at this. This is the article. Look at this. Article 164, clause 1 says that the chief minister shall be appointed by the governor, and the other ministers shall be appointed by the governor on the advice of the chief minister, and the ministers shall hold office during the pleasure of the governor. Okay, right. So now, if you come down, kindly look at this. The total number of ministers. Kindly see here. Here you can see a number 2. This is one which has been added through 91st Amendment Act. The total number of ministers, including the chief minister in the council of ministers in a state, shall not exceed 15% of the total number of members of the legislative assembly of that state. Very, 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 very important. Meaning, the maximum number you can have is that not more than 15% of the total strength of the assembly. Look at the next line. Provided that the number of ministers, including the chief minister in a state, shall not be less than 12. Right? Not less than 12, not more than 15% of the total strength of the assembly. Please remember this. Clear? Whatever the state you may belong to, my dear close friends, you may belong to Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, right? You can just have a look at this one. So this is the minimum requirement, right? In some states, 15% may not come into the picture, but number 12 will come into the picture, right? Kindly observe the number of ministers that are present in your state. Kindly remember this particular, this clause 1A has been added through 91st Amendment Act, right? Apart from Article 164, it also amended Article 75 of the Constitution of India. Right. So that's all about this Article 164. And I wish you all very, very good luck. And I'll see you in the next class with more current affairs. Thank you so much. Take very good care.